So I've got a question for you guys, and do you remember what your childhood experience was like? Do you recall it in a bit of a hazy way that you don't quite fully remember what exactly happened, but maybe you sort of just like experienced what you felt or what you thought you saw? Well, I think this book might actually reflect on that. Well, hello there, it's me, Suited in Black, and I'm back again with another book review, this time for Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane, like I said in my last video. And this book was published in 2013, and it follows the story of an unnamed protagonist as he experiences his childhood and has very sort of strange, kind of weird kind of events happen, and very unusual characters he comes across. For example, he meets the mysterious Hetty Limstock and the unusual and slightly uncanny Ursula Monkton. And with these new characters, he experiences all sorts of adventures and weird events. So the themes of the book include childhood experience and what it's like to sort of reflect back on your childhood. That sort of idea that maybe what you experienced might not actually be what truly happened. And I think this book does a really good job of showing that it really begins with him as an adult, and then his recollections of his childhood experiences are very sort of unusual, and the fantasy element really adds to that. It really sort of suggests that kind of hazy, sort of imaginative kind of thing that you can expect a child to have. So one fact about this book is that it won the National Book Award. And the second fact is, it's a good book. Yep, it's no secret that I really liked this book. I thought the writing was very good, really on point, and I thought the story was really engaging. So with my previous experience of Neil Gaiman books, I read like Coraline, I watched the movie adaptation, and I read the book Neverwhere. And I really liked all of them. I think particularly Coraline, because I really liked the kind of imagination to that story of, a child, like with her, what's it called? Her comfortable, familiar setting becomes very unusual and like almost like a place of horror, nearly. So I thought that The Ocean at the End of the Lane definitely sort of satisfied my expectations of a Neil Gaiman book. So why don't we jump straight ahead into the review? So pretty much this is like a uniformly positive review, just like spoilers, I guess. But this book, like I'm gonna immediately say it, I actually can't find any major flaws in this book. I thought this book was just that well executed, and I just really liked it. So one of the first positives I want to talk about is the writing style. I thought the writing style, like I said, was really on point, and I thought it was just done in such a charming, memorable way, and there was like it went on no tangent. It was like really sort of it stuck with what it wanted to talk about, and it was really not straightforward, but streamlined. And the thing about the writing style is that it really enhanced and magnified a lot of the scenes in this book. So when I read the scene about the father and this bathtub, I really felt it. I felt kind of angry. And when I read about, Ursula Monkton, one of the characters, I also really felt what the author was trying to go for. And so that sort of engagement with writing is like what makes it so, not just important for me to like a story, but also just why I love reading. The second positive I'd like to talk about is the fantasy aspect of this book. And I've already mentioned that it's kind of like Coraline, or it sort of reminded me of Coraline a little bit, in which the setting is of, a child's familiar place, of a child's home, and it becomes this kind of place of unusual activities. But it's nowhere near as creepy, at least. But I thought it was done in a very sort of engaging way that really relates to the theme of this novel, which is about childhood experience. And I feel like the fantasy really amplifies this kind of childhood sense of adventure and sense of everything is really strange, but they're learning. And I thought that, that's something that's been done before, but it was also done really well, and it really stuck with, what the novel's trying to talk about. Plus, this is the type of fantasy I'm so much more interested in than just magic. No, this is like an actual, it really creates a whole new world that's very strange, but that's kind of the point of fantasy, is that the world you step into is very, it's not like our own at all. It has to be weird, it has to be a little bit uncanny sometimes, but that is what makes it so powerful and magical.
Small unpopular opinion alert.
Another positive about this book is the theme and message of the story. I've already talked about the theme, but I just wanted to just state again, it's just such a good imaginative exploration of just childhood experience. And the message of this book would be something like, one sec. It'd probably be something about like, I actually don't. I think the message of the story is that it's basically about just showing how our childhood kind of shapes us into the person we are now. Just like, even if it's like such a strange events that we probably don't really recall all that well, it just it changes who we are as people. I think that's the message of the story, but I thought it was also done very well if it's not. Another positive I want to talk about is the characterization. Whilst I feel like it's not the most amazing standout characterization I've ever seen, it fits with the story, and to me that is very good. Like, as long as something works for the story being told, then for me that is a big positive. I really understood this nameless character. I understood Hetty Hemstock. I understood, well, not really, Ursula Monkton, and I suppose the parents, even though sometimes I felt a bit frustrated with them. But I think that was kind of the point, you as a child you feel frustrated with your parents. So I thought it did a really good job with that. And finally, the pacing of this book was really good. Like I said, there were no tangents at all in this book. It was really on point. It was really streamlined. It was really tight. And that is just the best type of book you can read. It's something that is just so condensed, but it tells its story, and it's not only that, but in such an engaging way. It's like, it's really is like magic. You really feel the magic of this book. And so, honestly, as I said, I can't find any flaws in this book at all. At least no major ones. Like, I can't even pick out any nitpicks. I don't want to say this book is absolutely perfect, which is not really true, but it's just like overwhelmingly good though. It's just that's me being honest. It's just overwhelmingly good. I just can't think of anything bad that really hindered my experience. And so my final consensus of this book is that it's expertly crafted and really tightly written, and it just really delivers such an engaging theme that you can really think about and really relate to. So I highly recommend it. And so, of course, this book gets a suited best. It's just that good. And that's the end of this review. I know this review is like very short, and I didn't really sort of go into much depth about it, but honestly, it's a bit difficult to actually say what's wrong with this book because I didn't feel anything particularly just stop my enjoyment. Like in terms of how this was crafted and the technical aspect of this book really is, the best of the best. It's just like so well done and really well executed, and it really just shows that if you edit your book, it can just do wonders. Also, how do you like me actually doing a positive review for a change on a book? And also expect more positive reviews in the future, for not just for books, but also for video games, movies, art, and more. Be sure to subscribe for more positive reviews, and also, of course, for those negative ones too.
Those juicy negative ones.
And so until we meet again, I'll be waiting.